So let's start with Brian Batko.
Hey, Eric. Just from seeing you at practice the other day, especially kind of during stretching and stuff, it seems you're pretty talkative, a guy that's keeping the energy up, fun to be around, and your teammates have said that too. Has that always been just your personality, or is that something that's come with more experience, more confidence being in the league as long as you've been?
Just who I am, honestly. Just going out there, just having fun. I mean, we don't play music, so I gotta find some way to get my energy going to just be who I am, to be the player that I want to be, whether it's practice or a game. So I'm just always energized, except right now I'm tired.
Plus, it's a camp with no preseason games to break up the monotony, right? So I guess it helps to keep things light as much as you can.
Right. Yeah, for sure. It's about tired of going against our defense. Our defense is pretty good, if you don't know. So yeah, it gets tiring after a while.
Dale Lally.
Eric, I've noticed Mike Tomlin, every time you guys are hitting the blocking sleds, he's there watching you, keeping an eye on that kind of stuff. I'm just wondering, how much of that were you asked to do it in Detroit and Indianapolis? I know you're an accomplished receiving tight end. Were you asked to do a lot of blocking?
I mean, I just did whatever I was asked to do, whether it was blocking or whether it was to, be a decoy or to be the primary target. I mean, I just did whatever I was asked to do. From what I hear, Mike Tomlin's always over there. I think it's fun. I mean, I think it's pretty cool that Mike Tomlin is really at all the drills, really, and he just continues to be a part of everything going on, all the cohesion going on around this team. So I like it. As far as hitting the sled, man, it's fun. It's new. I haven't hit a sled in a while, so it's fun. It's new. It kind of gets practice going, but then at the same time, you're really tired. So it's cool.
Mike Prisuta.
Eric, there was a play a couple days ago, a deep ball. Dupree was covering you, and it looked like you adjusted to the ball at least twice, caught a long touchdown, and afterward there was a first down marker leaning up against the wall, and Dupree went over and picked it up and started slamming it into the wall. Did you notice that? Do you have any kind of reaction to that? And is that play kind of an example of your offensive game?
No, I mean we were just asked to get put in a situation in which we know we're not comfortable with, and Mike Tomlin's doing a great job every day of putting us in those situations to challenge each other. He wants the Dupree to be able to carry out tight ends and coverages. So what better way to work on that than for Dupree to guard me, who is obviously a really good receiving threat. So we just and for myself, I in those blocking drills, Mike Tomlin does a great time, putting me in those blocking drills and putting me in those situations to recreate game-like environments. And I mean, Dupree is competitive. He knows that it's us sharpening each other. It's not anything to fuss about or anything. But he's just a competitor, so I expect nothing less than him. But I'm surprised he didn't absolutely destroy the first down marker.
Chris Adamski.
Hey, Eric. How are your ankles now that you've had, live practices and everything here for the first time since your surgery? And is that something? Are you 100% healthy? Is being 100% healthy that is it a coincidence that one of the 2 years you played 16 games, you had your career year in 2018? Is that something you think you can do again if you are 100% healthy?
Honestly, I'm just tired of losing, and me recreating any goal that I've had is pointless. I just want to win here, and that's kind of like my only goal. And as far as my ankles are good, man. I think I run pretty well. They like the way that I run, so I guess I'm pretty good. As far as being 100% healthy, I was first day of practice that went out the window, so I'm not 100% anymore, but I'm healthy.
Ray Fittipaldo.
Hey, Eric, how's it going? There's a lot of talk last season about the receivers having a hard time getting open. As an outsider coming in, what is your take on the Steelers receiving core, and how might you be able to help those guys in terms of, drawing some coverage or, just being another chess piece for those guys?
Man, that's it. I'm just here to just be another chess piece. I mean, it's easy to cover our receivers when, you don't have, you don't have to really pay attention to, anyone else. You just play too high and cover both our outside receivers. So I feel like I pose a threat, a threat in the middle of the field that's gonna, one, help our receivers to have one-on-one coverage, and hopefully, they win. And that's what we pay our receivers to do. That's what they're here for, and that's why they play in the National Football League. So I'm just here to just really honestly do my job, and whatever I can shed light about route running to the receivers, I will. And I think they're doing a fantastic job. The new coach, Ike, is doing a great job with them, and Ike has some knowledge, and there's nothing better than having a former player as your coach, because you can relate to people like that a lot better. So I feel like our receiver core is going to be good, especially with Ben back. That cohesion that him and Juju has built over the years, and some of these other guys that's been here for a while. I don't know who's all been here as long as Ben's been here. Because Ben's been here a long time, but it's just that your quarterback and your receivers, and adding me to that, it's just going to make that group, our air game, that much better. So hopefully it shows.
Mark Cavalli.
Hey, Eric, you had your share of two tight end sets in Indianapolis, I'm sure Detroit as well. In your opinion, what makes two tight ends on the field who can catch the ball and be versatile? In your opinion, what does that do to the defense? How does that make it difficult for them?
It solves the offensive problem. It solves the problem that we have every snap on. What is the defense trying to disguise, and how they're trying to disguise it? And with a veteran quarterback like Ben, who's seen it all, I feel like it helps with his clarity upon checking defenses. And I believe two tight end sets are dominant if you have two really good tight ends, and I believe we do. So I just look forward to just making, Ben's job a lot easier, making our offensive job a lot easier, and just, pulling the truth out of their defenses and what they're trying to disguise.
Brooke Pryor.
Brooke.
Hey, Brian. You touched on it when you first, got signed by Pittsburgh, about you and Ben connecting at that conference in the offseason and what it would be like to play together. But how have you noticed your rapport building with him on the field throughout camp? I mean, how is your connection as it relates to the offense right now?
Yeah, just still trying to completely understand him. I haven't had years with him. I haven't had months with him. I've literally had weeks, and just really trying to understand some things. And I believe I'm picking it up really well. And the way he thinks, because at the end of the day, we can draw a lot of lines on paper, but if I'm not, thinking the same thing as the quarterback, then I don't get the ball. So, I really just try to pick his mind and see what he thinks, and, see what he likes and what he doesn't like, and how to run certain routes, and, realize, knowing that there will be some mistakes and we'll have to talk through some things. And it's all been a work in progress, and it's all been so much fun, especially with a veteran like him, because, we see things the same, and coming from two really good quarterbacks, have taught me a lot. It helped me, visualize things with Ben a lot better. So it's been fun, and I believe we will have a lot of fun this year.
Joe Rutter.
Hi, Eric. You were talking about the matchup earlier against Bud on that one play. Has any of the other defenders kind of had some good matchups with you? Anybody giving you fits up there on this defense?
Our defense is really good. And what I love about our defense is they love a challenge, and I oppose that challenge to our defense, no matter where I line up. And every day they accept, they don't back down, they love it, and they love the fact that I'm a tight end that can move, because you don't often see those things, and it gives them great practice. And I don't think I don't think, I'm opposing a threat to anybody. I just think that I'm just getting our defense better. And they enjoy it. I enjoy it. It's really helping me get better because like I keep saying, our defense is really good. So it's been fun going up against them every day.
Tim Benz.
Eric, this might build off of Mark's question previously a little bit, but how much two tight end do you get in the vibe that the team wants to use based on practice so far? And is that the true most important part of you being here? Or is it simply a matter of making sure that there's at least one really good, healthy tight end available at all times between you and Vance?
Well, hopefully the point of them bringing me here is to win games. Because other than that, like I said earlier, I'm tired of losing. And I would run I would run two tight end sets all the time. It's just because in my mind, for me, it makes life so much easier. But at the same time, we can't run both of us into the ground and expect us to, be dominant all year long. So that's my preference. I love two tight end sets, but at the same time, we have to mix things up and we have to give teams different looks and different things to plan for. So as much as they need us to run two tight end sets, I'm well equipped and ready for it and continuously trying to get better at understanding the two tight end system. And other than that, man, I just look forward to winning with this team and with Vance. Vance is an awesome tight end, and I learned a lot from him.
Mike Asti.
Hey, Eric. First off, thanks for the Kobe reminder tweet that kind of was a somber way to start of a Sunday morning. But you mentioned about winning, and you mentioned about Ben and the fit here. What is it about Ben in particular that sets him apart? You played with other quality quarterbacks, but what about Ben in particular that you think makes you such a great fit even with him and sets him apart from other quarterbacks you played with?
That's a tough question. And, my family asked me that question, but it's really hard for me to say, I haven't been in game-like situations with Ben yet. And I can't wait to see how he operates in those environments because, like I said, I haven't done that with him. But I have done that with other quarterbacks, and they're just so cool, calm, collected. And it's something about, their will and that they knew they were going to win or knew they were going to have that drive or knew that they were going to get that, that last possession we needed. So I haven't, had that experience with Ben yet, and I can't wait for it. But he's a great quarterback, man. As far as I've been practicing with him, man, he loves to get the ball out of his hands. He loves for his playmakers to make plays, and he loves to always give you opportunities. So that's kind of what I've picked up from him so far. And like I said, I can't wait to get into a game-like situation with him. Fans or no fans. I'm just playing.
All right, last one we have time for today is going to be a follow-up for Dale Lawley.
Eric, I was curious. You mentioned that you hadn't hit the blocking sled in a long time. When was the last time that you were asked to do that?
I mean, when I was in Detroit, we hit it. So not that long ago, but it felt like a long time. But yeah, I mean, you usually don't hit a sled anymore. I think they kind of get rid of that in college. So, I mean, Detroit, we did it. It was more of a heavy bag, but we hit something. And yeah, it wasn't that long ago. It's just something that you don't do often. You think you get rid of it when you get to the NFL, but I guess not. JD is my coach, and he's been here longer than most people.
And let's get started with Tim Benz. Tim, go ahead.
Hi, Tyson. Just a question about going to nose tackle a lot this year. What did you do physically to prepare for that? And can you talk about the importance of that job if you're taking over for Javon in large part as the nose tackle this year?
Okay. I don't think I did too much different preparing to play nose tackle because in our defense, especially when we're in nickel, we play a lot. Over the center. So it's a lot of those repetitive things playing from whether we're in the tilt over the center, on the center, or in the 2-eye over the guard. But I think it's more of a mental thing, playing inside, especially in our Okie defense, being able to It's a lot more quick getting your hands on the center. So it's just more of a mentality. The further and further you move away from the ball, whether you're playing D tackle or DN, you get more space. But when you're playing nose tackle, you kind of get a lot more action a lot faster. So it's I guess getting your hands a lot more quicker. So just working on that throughout the off season. But it's I've seen Javon work throughout the years that I've been here. So I think I got firsthand, what it looks like to be, good and a great nose tackle. So seeing him work, seeing how he operates, on a daily basis from practice and, letting it translate to the games, I think being able to see how he plays, I think was definitely positive for me moving forward.
All righty, let's go to Dale Lally. Dale, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just curious. Last year, you have to come in and replace Stephon at defensive end. This year, you're replacing Javon at nose tackle. Anything you can't do on the defensive line, Tyson? Is it all pretty similar in terms of that? I know you just kind of talked about that a little bit, but any more pressure doing this from the onset as opposed to doing it in season?
I don't think it's any more pressure. I think I've been around the league for a while to know, whenever your number's called, you have to be ready. But it's no different. Just when you have your opportunity, coaches and preach it a lot. The standard is a standard, no matter what ways or how you got here. Whatever is expected as for the starter to do or whoever was before you, the expectation is always high. You always got to play to that level for you to keep that job. So, filling in for Javon, he played very well here, and I look forward to doing the same. Whether it's me out there or just try to teach the young guys, what the standard of what's expected to play nose tackle or defensive end.
All righty, let's go to Joe Rutter. Joe, go ahead.
When was the last time you got regular snaps at nose tackle, and do you kind of take it as a compliment that they came to you first to fill?
I think so. I think last year, whether it was just giving guys blows, but I played over the center, taking a few snaps there. But as far as compliment, I think so. Being a vet in this league, it's just always about knowing your job and doing your job and earning the respect of your teammates and coaches. And, if they trust you enough to put you out there, you got to make the most of it.
Thanks. Let's move on to Brooke Pryor. Brooke, go ahead.
Hey, Tyson, you guys added Chris Wormley in free agency with that trade. I know he's been out at least while we've been watching practice. Are you guys able to get a good gauge on what he brings to the defensive line and what he kind of adds for you guys?
Yeah, I think I did. Just seeing him, when he is out there, you can tell that he's a strong player and very technical sound. And I think in this defense, when you know what to do and your technique is correct, I think you got a great chance. And I think he'll definitely help out, be that guy to fill in when Cam or Tua needs a blow. I don't think, and I believe, he'll be that guy to where he can go in and not lose a step.
All right, we'll move on to Mike Trezzuta. Triv, go ahead.
Tyson, you guys put on a little bit of a show last night. Warm-up music, wearing the uniforms, the offense introduced. Was that much different, and was it of much value preparing for a real game?
Yeah, it's definitely different, not having the energy of the fans out there making noise. But at the end of the day, it's still a game, and you got to go out there and execute and get the job done. So it's still football. We still out there having fun, and I think it was more so getting, the new guys, the younger guys, that feel of, what it's going to feel like on game day, and just the normal preparations that we do leading up to a real game without having these preseasons. So I think it was big for us, and that just makes it gives you that much that feel of, being close to, playing football.
All right, let's move on to Mark Caboli. Mark, go ahead.
Hey, Tyson, I think maybe you missed one game because of injury, maybe even dating back all the way to high school. What's your secret, especially being, jumbled up on the defensive line where anything can happen? What's the secret of your success of staying healthy?
I don't know. I don't know the secret. I just know that I'm blessed, to be in good health, and I pray that it continues. But I guess, the more and more you play in this league, you learn from, just experience and from other guys, the best ways to take care of your body. And I think learning that over the years, I think has helped. But I think it's that and just a mentality of, if I'm able to go, I'm going to keep pushing through, those bumps and bruises, even on days when you don't feel like it. I think having that mentality and attitude just helps me, just be available. You hear that all the time from whether it's coaches. One of the best abilities is availability, and I think I take pride in that. Being available to, anytime my number's called.
All right, let's go to Brian Vacco. Brian, go ahead.
Hey, Tyson, more of a lighthearted question here on a Sunday afternoon for you. But with this being a different kind of camp, not at Latrobe, a lot of practice with no games to break it up, what's some of the stuff you guys are doing to keep things light and do some team bonding in the locker room?
Well, the first thing that pops to mind is, it's always a lot of fun and interesting conversations that you have in locker rooms and things that stay there. But this offseason, the different thing is, we've been playing spike ball. And, with anything as athletes, you kind of get real competitive. So it was like you form teams and talk a lot of smack. But right now, TJ's my partner, and we've been playing pretty well. I think our record is like 11-1, so still the number one seed. But that's been fun, being able to build that camaraderie with a lot of the guys.
Who made the teams, and if you guys are the best team, then who's the worst?
I think it was whoever was there to start off the game. It was just, I think whoever was there, we just kind of picked teams and started, and then other guys started seeing us play and just picked their teams from there. But the worst team, I think the worst team was Dan and Isaiah Bugs, but I think they got kicked out of the league, so I don't know who's the worst now.
We got time for a few more. Let's go to Jenna Harner. Jenna, go ahead.
Hey, Tyson, I'm not sure if you've been entirely, paying too much attention to everything that's been going on in the league itself this morning, but there's a lot of reports that a lot of teams are having positive or quote unquote false positive COVID tests. I know you guys are always so focused on, controlling only what you can control, but is there some greater concern here that, something like this could happen on a game day where there's, false positives and you guys are out a couple people?
I hope not. I think the league is doing a great job, and I know that they're learning from this. It's probably better that they catch this early on and kind of take care of it, which I know they will. But it's tough because you never want to, be a false positive and miss, some of the important reps, whether it's at practice, but especially on game day. So, I just trust and believe that they'll get something done.
All righty, we got time for one more. Let's go to a follow-up with Joe Rutter. Joe, go ahead.
Yeah, Tyson, being that they put you back in the middle here, what's it like, or what's the benefit of having Cam and Stefan on the other side? And have they worked you in on the end on sub packages?
I mean, it's a big benefit. I mean, I think that's probably the best tandem right now in the league with Cam and Tuitt. Those guys I knew coming in that I was coming into a great group, even when I came in, 3-4 years ago. So to have those guys and be able to play off of them from the middle, I think it'll just definitely elevate my game. And, I hope I can do the same for them. I'm just looking forward to this year. What was the second part of your question? I muted him.
Oh, okay. Yeah. And the second part was, when you're not in those, have they been using you in your old role in sub packages?
Yeah, I still play a few snaps at defensive end, especially when Dan comes in and he can take over at nose, and I could give Cam and Tuitt a breather, or so I'm still kind of in the mix there, but right now playing majority of the snaps at nose tackle.